My name is Dr. Yosuke, a physical therapist, and today I'm going to talk about what you need for onboarding with a travel agency. Onboarding can be a process. Literally, I've worked over 20 jobs and I've onboarded too many times to count, and it's kind of a hassle. But sometimes it's easier when you're with the same company. But listen and watch this. I'm going to share what you need to start a travel contract with a travel agency. So this is after you accepted a job, you had your job interview, you got the offer, and you said, I accept it, you signed your contract. And then after that, someone's gonna email you from your travel agency to talk about onboarding to get ready to your facility. Because getting ready for travel contracts, it's like on steroids. It's much quicker than a permanent job. Typically for permanent jobs, the onboarding could take weeks, months, but with travel agencies, it's typically done in like 1 week, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes even quicker if they're really desperate and if you have the flexibility. Currently me, I just actually finished a 1 month job. It was actually a strike job, which they do have those. They're very rare for PT, but I was pretty much not working after the strike for 2 weeks where I was able to do the onboarding. So for the onboarding, there are medical requirements, there's written requirements, and there's sometimes online testing that you have to do with your agency. And they ask you pretty much, I just have it pulled up on my screen. They'll most likely do some kind of a background check, and you can also ask for a copy of that. So don't get any felonies because it'll stay on your record. So don't do any shady PT stuff because they'll get caught up. There's also a lot of medical requirements. So in most cases, there is a drug screen. So yes, if you smoke weed, if it's legal in your state, if you're in California, you still might not be eligible for a job, and they test for that. And in most places, they go to Concentra, which is an urgent care. And I've been there so many times. I actually was in the Bay Area of California for my most recent job, and I saw the best ever Concentra. The person there was happy. First of all, and they're never happy. It was quick, it was efficient. I was only there for 1 hour, and I did a physical and a couple of other tests. But you'll most likely have to do a drug screen test. So make sure you don't go to the bathroom before, because there was one time where I went to do a drug screen and I didn't think about it. I literally just woke up, peed, and then I went to the Concentra for the drug test, and I couldn't go because I emptied my bladder. So drink your fluids and don't empty your bladder too early, so you don't have to go twice like me. Another case is you'll probably need a physical exam, and this could be super quick. Most of the time, at least for me, it's with a nurse practitioner or a physician assistant. They literally are there for less than 5 minutes. They say, hey, can you bend over? Can you do squats? And I'm a doctor of physical therapy, but they're doing their exams because that's what they have to do on paper. And in some cases, they can accept an old physical, but sometimes it has to be more recent than 6 months or more recent than a year. It really just depends. There is the flu vaccine. In most cases, you can decline that. The COVID vaccine is something else. You can also decline that in most cases. During the COVID time, you couldn't decline that and you weren't getting a job, but you can decline that in most jobs, or even if you have a religious exemption, you can decline it as well. And the Tdap vaccine, the varicella vaccine, you can decline those in most cases. And a TB test, and there's different types of TB tests, right? There's the one that goes in your arm, and then another one just where they check it, or they can do a blood draw as well. Some other things that you need is, in most cases, my job is in home health, so they need a copy of my car insurance, and they also need a copy of my driver's license just to make sure to see who I am. They also need a BLS certification, and in some cases, they can reimburse you as well. So it never hurts to ask. And also your travel agency, they probably have their own company handbook, their own job description, their own system online. It could be an app. Some companies have their own app where you just onboard on the app and you just sign it. You have to agree to it. If you're in California, like I am, they have a meal waiver thing that you have to sign. It's just a certain thing. And pretty much there's just random forms. In most cases, there is an I-9 form where you have to show your passport or social security number just to prove who you are, to make sure that you're a citizen. And there might be online modules for your job. So for this job, there are online modules. So make sure that you get paid for it. Don't work for free, because when you start orientation, whether it's for your agency or for the facility you're working at, get paid. Because a lot of the times, I know when I was a new grad, I didn't get paid, but I didn't know any better. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna do this, and I'm never gonna ask questions. But you gotta get paid for everything, because your time's valuable. You're a therapist and you went to school for it. And some of the online modules, in most cases with the agency, they're super easy, super standard. Things with HIPAA, it could have to do with sexual harassment, safety manual, violence prevention training, nothing crazy. And that's pretty much it for the onboarding. I've done this like I said, over 20 times. I've worked over 20 jobs. Wow. In my about 8 years as a PT. And onboarding, it is what it is. It's just like a minor con, but you only do it once. And that's why sometimes it's nice to stay with your same company, because then you can just extend. Last year, I was with one company for about a year and I didn't do any onboarding. It wasn't bad at all. Let me know if you have any questions or if you like this format, just talking straight to the camera. Have a great one and take some more travel contracts.